I'd like to introduce our head table today. From my left, we have our president and CEO, Derek Fox. The visiting team this year is Texas. We have Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian. Our volunteer chair for the Valero Alamo Bowl this year is Randy Kane in the middle. Our home team is the University of Washington. Head coach Kalen DeBoer. And our title sponsor, Valero, we have Gary Simmons with us, Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer. Randy Kane, could you start us, please?
Yes, thank you, Rick. Thank you for joining us today here at the Security Service Insurance Golf Classic as we kick off a month-long series of events culminating with the 30th annual Valero Alamo Bowl between number 20, Texas, and number 12, Washington, on December the 29th. We knew it was going to be very special when we announced it on Selection Sunday, and that feeling has been validated over the last 4 days with the tremendous amount of media attention and fan interest it has received. Our ability to bring such outstanding universities to San Antonio is a testament to the community support that we've received over the past 30 years. Valero was one of our original partners in 1993. Then in 2007, Valero stepped up to become our title sponsor, allowing us to move up to our current position as the #1 bowl game outside the CFP in the Big 12 and Pac-12 conferences. That has allowed us to feature top 20 matchups in 7 of the last 9 years of the CFP, and annually ranked #1 among all bowls in local scholarship giving. And I'll say that one more time, #1 among all bowls in local scholarship giving. With us this morning is Gary Simmons, Valero Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer. Please join me in applauding Gary and Valero for their partnership that allows us to bring such quality programs to San Antonio and positively impact our community each year. Gary?
Well, thank you, Randy. Valero's proud to help commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Alamo Bowl. It's certainly been a game changer for the city of San Antonio. And at Valero, we're changing the game too, from recycling used cooking oil to make renewable diesel to providing scholarship for local students. Just a couple of examples of things we're doing right now, because at Valero, we know the future is based on the actions that we do today. Valero's thrilled to be a part of this must-see matchup between Texas and Washington. We applaud the efforts of the teams, the coaches, and their families on the successful seasons that they've had. We know that millions of viewers will be tuned to ESPN to see all the excitement inside the Alamo Dome on game day, but it's equally rewarding to see the city of San Antonio become even more alive during bowl week with the teams and their fans here. I'd like to thank everyone with the Valero Alamo Bowl team for what they do every year to make this event such a success. And with that, I'll turn it to Derek to introduce the coaches.
Great. Thank you again, Gary, for your support. And we cannot overstate how much we're so blessed to have you as our title sponsor, and definitely fueled our growth to be the top bowl game that we are right now. So again, on behalf of our organization and the entire community, thank you, Gary. Our selection rights give us the opportunity to host teams that excite local supporters, drive visitation, and turn on TV sets. No pressure, guys. The Valero Alamo Bowl is San Antonio's holiday tradition, and we have 2 outstanding programs and coaches like we do every year, but this year, our 30th anniversary, is truly special, so we're very, very blessed to have you guys here. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Valero Alamo Bowl, I'd like to welcome Coach Sarkisian and Coach DeBoer to San Antonio. Congratulations to both of you on your successful seasons, and we appreciate you bringing your teams and excited fan bases to San Antonio, and oh, by the way, for scheduling to be here today, because we know it's a very crazy, crazy time, so thank you for making time for us. So first, let me introduce to you the Texas head coach, Steve Sarkisian. In Coach Sarkisian's second year leading the Longhorns, they finished with 8-4 record, number 20 ranking, and a balanced attack, ranking in the top 20 in points per game and top 30 in points allowed per game. This is his first bowl game with Texas, but his second time playing in the Valero Alamo Bowl. His 2011 Washington Husky team scored 56 points, the second highest total in points history. Coach Sarkisian, on behalf of the Valero Alamo Bowl, we're thrilled to welcome you and the Longhorns to San Antonio for the first time, and turn it over to you for an opening statement.
Thanks, Derek. You had to remind me of that 2011 game, but that was a heck of a game, and I'm sure everybody here loved watching that one. So anyway, thank you for having us. This is a phenomenal experience. We're super pumped to be here. At the end of the day, there's high expectations with what we do, and our players are appreciative of the opportunity that we have. And so to play the University of Washington and all that they've accomplished this season, and a team that, you know, I'm watching the tape, man, a couple of plays here or there, they're in the college football playoff. So the reality of it is, you know, this is a great challenge for us, and great bowl game, great opportunity, and appreciative of the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Sarkisian. Now let's talk to the University of Washington head coach, Kalen DeBoer.
All right, thank you. First of all, it's great to be here, and I know our team is excited. Can't wait to take part in the Alamo Bowl, and Coach Sark, and he's got some history with UW as he heard. Just appreciative of what his part is in our history, and looking forward to the great challenge to play UT. We know that they've had, as you look at their schedule and their season, they've had some great wins and continue to seem to be projecting onward and upward, and so looking forward to the great challenge.
Thank you, coaches. If you're in the room, you raise your hand and one of the mic holders will come to you. We'll also do off the chat as well as social media using hashtag Alamo Bowl. First question in the front.
You know Michael Penix fairly well. How would you say he compares with the 4 quarterback finalists for the Heisman Trophy?
I haven't had a chance to see all of them a lot, but I do know what Michael does, and he does at a high level. And being around college football for many years, he does it as good as anyone I've ever seen. You know, his ability to be accurate. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's a great leader, great person, high character guy, who came in and instantly brought life to our team, and our stadium became electric because of the big plays he's made. And so, taking an offense that was near the bottom of FBS a year ago, and pretty much with everyone else around him for the most part being the same people, to be one of the top 2 offenses in the country in most categories. A lot of that credit is due to what Michael's done for us.
Decision to return next year?
Yeah, we're pretty fired up about that. So he had threw us for a little surprise on Sunday after our team banquet. Had a video prepared and made the announcement to our team and many parents that were there as well. And so we're excited about the future. It's certainly got our momentum going for next year, but we still got work to do this year, and we want to close out this season and try to get that 11th win.
Albert, front right.
Sark, just how is it prioritizing everything right now between looking ahead to a bowl game, the transfer portal, in-home visits, just everything that's on your plate right now? How do you prioritize?
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's about, like you said, prioritizing. It's what are you doing today? Today we happen to be here for this, for this press conference, and then you go on to doing your home visits, and then you get ready for practice tomorrow. So you just go through it, and I think, at the end of the day, like, our players understand that. That we dive into what we need to dive into, and we go according to the process of what's expected of us. So that's what we do. I wish I could say it more eloquently, but that's exactly what happens. You just handle what's in front of you, and then you go tackle it.
Let's go front row and then chat.
Coach Sarkisian, I do have to ask, Bijan is a guy who has a lot of options. Is he going to be participating in bowl practices, and do you anticipate him playing in the game? And the same goes for Roshan. Will he be healthy enough to go in the game?
Well, I think all those things, when you talk about the players and who's playing, who's not, I think those are all things that we have to work ourselves through. Hey, Bijan's got a lot of things to work himself through, like, do I leave to go to the NFL? Do I not? Do I practice? Do I not? Roshan, same thing. So, we work with our players kind of day to day. Well, what do they need? What do they need from us to be the most productive players that they can be? Awesome human beings. Like, these guys are unbelievable human beings. So we just try to support them the best we can. And Bijan he loves the University of Texas. It's not like something like well, it's kind of, no, he loves it. He loves this place. And so for him to decide of, do I leave early to go to the NFL or not? Man, that is a tough decision. That's heavy on anybody. So we try to help him, support him the best we can.
Question in the back.
Dave Mahler from KJR Radio Seattle would like to ask Coach Sark, how do you think you've evolved as a coach since you've left UW, and also to reflect on your time at Washington?
So my time at Washington was one that I'll never forget. Special time, special place. That place was incredible. The fan base was incredible. I don't take it lightly. You evolve as a coach, obviously, as you go through all of it. And in the end, man, you hope you leave a place better than what you found it. And I think that we did that. Coach DeBoer has done a fantastic job with that program. But in the end, it's like, man, do I think it was better than when it was? But when I got there, yeah, I think so. And I'm appreciative of all the people there. They're great people at the University of Washington, and much respect for everybody there.
Thank you. Other questions? We had a social media question for Coach DeBoer. Talk about the ups and downs. As he had a 4-0 start, then an 0-2, and now a 6 wins in a row. Anything after that second loss that was the locker room worried? Tell me how you got that to get on the streak.
Yeah, I think after the second loss, fortunately, and I guess unfortunately, we were in a time where our health was certainly a big issue, and a couple positions in particular, and we've gotten through it. We've lost some guys for the year that were playing then, but we've been able to at least sustain a positive vibe through all of it, and our resiliency of our guys, I think, really showed up, in the last half of the season. And one game at a time, I think we really understood how to play team football, how to trust and believe in each other. And as the year's gone on, we've really gained a lot of confidence that when times are tough, we'll pull through. And those critical moments that we've had, especially in the month of November, that's exactly what we did. So, I think a lot of it had to do with some injuries we were going through in the first half of the season, and it kind of came to a head. But I credit our guys; they stuck together.
Front row.
Coach, how much will you get at Sarkisian? How much will you get the young guys get an opportunity to participate in bowl practices before you start kind of zeroing in? And also, can you maybe speak to Malik Murphy with no Hudson Card there? Does he kind of move into that number 2 spot, and what do you kind of looking for him as well?
Yeah, I think this is a great point. Early on in bowl prep, a lot of young guys getting a lot of reps. As many opportunities we can give them to prepare and to show how the growth that they have. And Malik is a great example of that. The idea that now you're the number 2, and what do you need to do, and how do you need to do it, and how do you go about your business. It's a great opportunity for him. So at the end of the day, a lot of work goes into it, and we'll see how far they get, and you never know until their number gets called, but we try to do all we can to get them prepared.
Front.
Sark, I know you mentioned watching the tape on Washington, just some of your initial impressions from the early study you've done.
Score a lot of points. These guys, they score a lot of points. They throw it around, man. Wish I could clinic with Coach DeBoer, but Michael Penix, those receivers, they do a heck of a job. Their ability to rush the passer defensively and create havoc on the quarterback are issues. But they can score. They score on everybody. It doesn't matter the helmet, doesn't matter who they're playing. They go score, and you gotta be prepared to make sure you're playing 4 quarters and score collectively against them, because they can do it at a high level.
Kirk in the front, and then Max.
For Kalen and Steve, this is a crazy time of year. It's gotten a little crazier, obviously. Are either of you, Kalen and Steve, in favor of an August signing day, and anything you would do to tweak the whole transfer portal window or dates or whatever.
I was going to turn and look at him, but I guess I haven't really thought too much about the August signing day piece. I think that you just try to adjust with whatever comes your way, and it is a crazy time right now. There's no doubt. We're flying around, mostly on the West Coast, but around the country, and trying to, get back for bowl practices. You mix in finals and a lot of other things that are happening. There's a lot, but I do think that the early signing date we have has a lot of benefits that have helped us understand, where our team roster is at, and this transfer portal window we're in now. I think it can always be adjusted and tweaked, and there'll be lessons learned through it all. And then I think as just a coach in the coaching profession, we need to continue to work together to help make it better, better for our student athletes. To help them navigate through all of it. And I think that's what we'll continue to do is live and learn and make it better.
Do you want to answer? So anyhow, I think this. I think that we're in a unique time of college football, and we as head coaches fight our tail off to put our teams in the best position to be successful. And then the reality of it is, it's unique, it's different, it's new, and how do you navigate all this? And so you take it day by day, as Coach just said, like literally day by day. How are we going to navigate today? And I think you try to surround yourself with good people that want to do it the right way, and then you try to recruit the best players that you can to fit your program. But it is unique, man. It is different for sure.
Would you change either another August signing date or change the portal window?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm just trying to deal with what we got now.
Are the conversations, Coach Sarkisian, are the conversations that you said you'd have with players about their future, are those complete now that you're starting bowl practices, about portal, NFL, that type of thing?
No, I think those conversations are ongoing. We got players with real decisions to make, and understandable. I was waiting for the highlight video of one of our players to say he was coming back, but we didn't get that as fortunate as Washington did. But the reality of it is, you just work with the players. Like, it's ongoing, I mean, I wish I could tell you guys, like, man, everything is perfect and everything is good. It's not. Like, we are in this process of working with our players every day to help them be the best that they can be, going on to their future, getting their degree from the University of Texas. Like, it just is what it is, and it's tough. And I feel for our players because they love this place, but yet they have a future to think about too. So that's how we go about it.
Question back first, then the front.
For Coach Sark, love the Pimpton offer, by the way. In your installation of your offense with Quinn, what are some signs of growth that you want to see from him from year one into year two? With these extra practices, are you going to be able to help him expedite that?
Well, I think at the end of the day, our ability to be functional passing the ball, right? We have not been good enough growth-wise from a program perspective of our ability to throw the ball down the field. And so that takes time, that takes effort, that takes work. And so that's, whether it's Quinn, whether it's wideouts, whether it's tight ends, like we've got to put in the work to make sure that we're growing in a positive direction to be the best program that we can be. And throwing the ball nowadays is like, I feel like that's the norm. It used to be running the ball back in the day. Now it's throwing the ball. And so how do we get better at it? How do we continue to improve? And so, that's what we're doing.
Okay, we'll go question in front, then a chat.
Coach Sark, about a year ago, you guys signed a lot of talented offensive linemen. I'm kind of about a year later, I'm just talk about the growth of some of those young guys. Talk about the job maybe that Kyle Flood has done. I'm kind of curious about the growth. Kelvin Banks, obviously, Hudson, Cam Williams has played a lot, and maybe some of the guys that we haven't seen their growth behind the scenes.
Yeah, I love the development of our young offensive linemen. Anytime you start 2 true freshmen O-linemen, I think that not many people do that. So Kelvin and Cole, what they were able to do, but the development of DJ Campbell, incredible. Cam Williams, incredible. Coach Flood has done an awesome job, and he identified these guys and he's worked with them, and we're reaping the benefits of it.
In the back.
Coach Sarkisian, Terry Middleton from Horns Illustrated, asking, can you talk about the impact of being in a bowl game has on younger players as they look forward to their next season?
Well, I think in the end, being in a bowl game is a great opportunity. We're playing a heck of a team, man. University of Washington is a top 10 opponent, and we've got a great opportunity ahead of us. It's going to take everybody dialing into what we need to do, but it's a great challenge for sure. So we got to make sure we're prepared, we're focused, and we're doing the things necessary to perform.
Front.
Coach DeBoer, have you talked with, I know Jalen Polks from Texas, and he may get matched up on a high school teammate. Have you been able to talk to him about that matchup, playing at home and maybe playing against Jaron Thompson like at Lufkin High?
We haven't had a chance to talk specifically about that, but I do know when I came into the facility, the team was stretching, and I made the announcement of where we were playing and who we were playing, and Jalen Polk's eyes perked up, and the grin was from ear to ear, and he's excited, just as a few of our other guys are as well, of coming, back to their home here in Texas and getting a chance to play a game. So, my eyes went immediately to Jalen Polk in particular because I knew he'd be pretty fired up.
In the middle.
Yeah, Kalen, how will USC and UCLA's departure affect the Pac-12 strength going forward, and how is Dion going to shake up your league?
That's loaded right there. Hey, I think, in a time where everything's just so fluid, from you're talking about teams leaving and coaches coming in, I think, we're just always trying to make our league stronger. And, it's 2 great programs that have a lot of history in the Pac-12. And so certainly doesn't go, unnoticed and something that, we'll have to navigate and work through as a conference. But, I feel like the strength of who we are, and not just a conference, but University of Washington will continue to thrive and continue to, keep it heading in the right direction. And then, certainly Coach Prime, I guess I haven't met him in person, but Coach Prime is coming in the league and, going to continue to make that program there at Colorado stronger and add value to our league and continue to, be a challenge, each and every week now. Every team, you got to bring your best, and that will be the case with Colorado.
Question front, and then the last question will be on chat.
Kalen, I'm not sure how much you and your staff have had a chance to watch Texas yet, but just early video you've watched, just early impressions you and your staff have of Texas.
Yeah, I know the staff has started to pour into the film, been on the road recruiting a lot and glanced a little bit, but I think probably the biggest thing is just a balanced team, offensively, defensively, finding ways to win, looking at, just the teams they've played and the wins, and even a couple of close losses. That strength of the team, that it's in there, and we know we're gonna have to bring our best to find a way to meet the challenge that's presented by UT here, in the Alamo Bowl.
All right, final question via chat. Back left.
Yep. Kim Reynolds says, 123 points scored in Sark's last Alamo Bowl appearance. Any chance we see the same offensive output?
This is for me. I'll never forget watching RG3 and that whole crew. That's a great game, and I think that's what the beauty of the Alamo Bowl is. It's like, I know we're not a New Year's Six game, but man, to get 2 top 20 teams battling at a high level on a national stage. I mean, this is what it's about. So great opportunity for us, University of Texas, great opportunity, I'm sure, for Coach DeBoer and his program at the University of Washington. And what a deal for the Alamo Bowl. Like, to get these two teams, are you kidding me? So fire it up. It's going to be great.
Thank you. Derek, you want to wrap up?
Well, speaking of fired up, our community is. There's looking forward to having both of you guys back. I know you didn't have enough time to really spend much time here today, but again, thank you for great years, 2 great programs, tradition-rich programs that we're really fortunate to have here in San Antonio at this year's Valero Alamo Bowl. So with that, we'll conclude this. Let you guys get back on the road, doing what you're doing. And again, there is a crazy time that you're going through, so I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to be here with us today. So thank you.
Thank you. Coaches, if I could have you two pose in the middle, they do like a one shot together.
All sit